Hey everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. We are back bush hogging today for Dirt Perfect in the John Deere 120 with his custom bush hog. We'll take a look at that in just a second. I know what you're thinking though, what do you mean back bush hogging, Mike? We just got here. Actually, a couple days ago, I did a few hours worth of bush hogging. For whatever reason, the GoPro 7 was a little glitchy and none of those shots turned out. So kind of lost a day's worth of footage, but that's okay. It's a new day and a beautiful day. Look at this. Gorgeous day. Little chilly, but it is November. Can't complain about that. Gonna be hard not to find those smiles today. We'll see if that holds true throughout the project, but we're gonna take a look at that in just a second. Obviously get some shots of it working. First things first. Oh, by the way, I think the shadow is gonna help us here. Since I'm using the 8 today because I'm not quite sure what's going on with the 7, you're on a tripod. So look at that. That's what's going on. You're riding the tripod today, and that's gonna be just fine. Mike did come down and check all the fluids for us, and we do need to add some hydraulic oil. So we're gonna do that first thing. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you've been with us for a while, well, just quick reminder, you know that, now I know what you're thinking, can't you just take the cap off and do it that way? For whatever reason, Mike and I always just take the whole thing off, I think because it's a bigger hole and a bigger target, and that's just easier for us, so that's what we're doing. Anywho, you know that Mike just got done doing a big rebuild on this machine. A lot of line boring, new undercarriage, all that fancy stuff, and a little bit of work in the engine compartment. He did have some issues with the injection pump. Yeah. A little bit of pressure in there, but it came out. He did have some issues with the injection pump, but ended up just having that sent off and rebuilt at a place called Inflow. So we have been keeping a good eye on that just to make sure we're not leaking anything, but it seems to be running pretty well. Everything's dry where it's supposed to be dry, and that is what matters. But the whole reason I'm telling you that, at the end of this video, there's some bonus footage. When Mike took that injection pump out is when he injured his arm, and I just got this really funny phone call or Voxer, and he just said, hey man, is there any chance you can come over here and I can walk you through taking this injection pump out because I can't get my arm down in there? And I said sure. So if you want to check that out at the end of the video, getting that injection pump off, it's just me and him working together, a little bit of banter. It's kind of entertaining. It wasn't enough to make a full video, but enough to make some bonus footage at the end. That's what we're saying, anywho. As long as you're off, you're okay. That's all it is. It's just that. Get a hold of it. Let's take a little gander at this real quick. This is originally a side mount bush hog for a tractor. You can see it's upside down. It says SM60. My only assumption is SM stands for side mount and 60 is probably 60 inches. That's probably about right. The original pin holes are right there, so it can still hook up to that side mount, which is kind of nice, but he just welded on pins this end that fits right on the coupler. It actually works pretty well. You got to watch where that gearbox is at because this big old B-ring on the end. You got to really be careful you don't get that into that gearbox, but other than that, really nothing to it. The power for it just hooks right into where the thumb controls go. We just unhook those and they just flop around, and that's what you got, one on each side. He did do a little bit of steel reinforcement to it when he did this. I'm gonna say he did this 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago maybe, and it's held up pretty well. Now, it does have a pretty heavy seat for hydraulic oil on that gearbox, but I think we all understand this isn't a Fecon or however you pronounce it. This was never made for what we're getting ready to do with it. The fact that that gearbox is held up as long as it has for what we do with it is really pretty impressive, to be honest. We don't really use it for customer jobs. He uses it once every 3 years to do his front hill, which, by the way, he has an awesome video coming out on his channel of him doing that on his front hill. His front hill, I say a hill, it's a series of cliffs, and he walks the benches on those cliffs to keep everything tamed down for his rear view. It's insane when he does it. It's gonna be a great video. So every 3 years for that, and every year for what we're doing today, which is this ditch along the river access road to their camp, or river camp access road. So all in all, considering what we do with it and what it was originally designed for, it's held up pretty well. It's been a pretty handy creation. We're gonna go back there. I'll show you what we've already got done, and then we'll get doing some work. So that is going really well. We pretty much have everything done on that side of the ditch, and we started working our way back up that side of the ditch. But I'm going to run up to Mike's house and go grab the grease gun and his cordless grinder and just touch up those blades a little bit. Just get the machine all ship shape in Bristol fashion and other boat jokes and that kind of thing. Eat some lunch on the road while I'm doing it. I say the road like it's a long trip, but it's right there on that ridge. It's not too far away at all, but that should be enough time to get a little bit of food in my belly. We do have the bucket down there with us. You see that? We are going to do a little bit of ditch cleaning today as well. All right, I could not find the grinder, but I did find the grease gun, which is a hot mess right now, but that's okay. We'll make it work. And out of the two tools, I'd say the grease gun is probably more important. We've had an issue with this pin here after the line boring. For whatever reason, it's been having a hard time taking grease and keeping grease where we need it, and it develops a squeak pretty early on. So, you know, we just put a lot of grease in it. It's almost as if the grease isn't getting all the way across like it's supposed to. Get this big old pile of crap out of here. I'm gonna put some pressure on the end of the boom and see if I can just get that to shift a little bit. Much better. All right, let's get back to mowing then, bud. One thing I like on this 120 more than the 140 is the open roof hatch. See those power lines right there? Every so often, depending on, you guys can see the power pole right around there and right there. It just goes in a straight line, and obviously the creek does not. So every so often, like we are now, we ended up right underneath those power lines. But on the 140, it's got the plexiglass up here, which, like all plexiglass, is all scratched up and it's yellowed up over the years and you just can't see through it anymore. But this, I can see that really nicely. Now I know you can probably get 140s with a roof hatch like this, but you know, we don't have one. And this does, and I love it. It also makes it really easy to get the camera on top too. I don't even have to get out. I feel like a kid riding in a sunroof in a limousine. All right. Our way around this bend, and it's looking pretty good. But you can see we got some trees up there we're going to get into. tracking back over here, we'll go ahead and pan around. Some might call spin, but whatever, we're going to call it pan. All that big section of ditch, we are done, and it looks good. You guys saw the time lapse, maybe, but Dirt Perfect stopped by and approved all of that. We just have a little bit left down here, just a few little itty bitty spots we have to get, and then we're going to put the bucket on, see if we can get some of this debris cleaned out where it's washed in, maybe pop a few stumps, I don't know. It could get crazy. It might get crazy. Grease on that pin real quick before you make it to the comment section, which maybe you're already there, and that's just fine. Yes, the ditching bucket would be a lot easier for this task, but we didn't bring it with us, so it's just kind of a run what you brung situation. That's what we brought, have, using. That's what we're doing. For not having the ditching buckets and working with the mud and the riprap, I think that looks fine. You guys saw there's a pretty big pool of water right in this area here. I'm going to head home for today, go back on shift, and then come off a shift, and we're going to get this whole thing all straightened out a little bit and drained a little bit better. I actually just came off shift, and that drained down pretty well from the last clip. So this has been sitting for about a day, and it's still flowing pretty good on this side. Looks real good. I'm gonna finish getting that thumb on, and we're gonna get to work. That's nice. Alrighty. So I am back to using the GoPro 7 again today. This is the kind of third partial day that I was working on this, but you'll notice the GoPro 7 is having a little focus issue. GoPro uses a fixed lens, so it doesn't really have focus adjustments, but somewhere there's something going on in this camera and I can't quite figure it out. So the next few shots kind of had this out of focus thing going on, but I left it in there for a reason. I wanted you guys to see what was going on with it. This is what was happening the first day when I ended up going back to using the GoPro 8. I wanted you guys to see what was going on with it, so that if anybody on here uses a GoPro 7 Black, if you've had this happen to you, how did you fix it? I'm kind of trying to problem solve this and troubleshoot it. I really want to be able to have 2 cameras. It's a pretty nice setup. I'm pretty happy with it. The biggest thing I can find on Google is that there's something dirty on the lens, so I thought that's probably makes sense, grease or hydraulic oil or something. I ended up just replacing the lens altogether, which is really easy and very inexpensive to do. It's one of the reasons I really like that Hero 7. Still didn't fix the problem though, so I'm not quite sure what it is, and I'm hoping somebody on here will be able to help me out. So if you know what's causing this, or you've had this happen to you, please in the comments tell me what you did to get it straightened out and to get it fixed so I can get this camera back up and running. So we've got most little pools drained down on that end. We've got one more up here we're going to try to get drained. Shouldn't take too much to get it cleaned out. So that actually drained down pretty well. There's still a little spot there. Mike and I were talking about it earlier. We just need to come down here when it dries out sometime and start at that end and work our way back, just straddle the thing and just reshape the whole ditch. But that was not the goal for today. This was the last couple days, just kind of get all the bush hogging done, get most of those pond areas draining, and just get it through the winter. This goes underwater every year. Every year this goes underwater. In fact, there's been years, you see those power lines? There's been years where you could, the water gets to those power lines. That's how low we are right here. So it's not that big a deal. Just try to keep it flowing is the main thing. Mike was happy with it. I'm happy with it. I hope you guys are happy with it. I hope you guys are having a good day. Whatever day it is, whatever day this comes out. I'm actually headed up to the house to start working on a project pretty excited about, so you'll have that to look forward to in a future video. You don't know what it is, but just know it's going to be a good time. Like I said, there's some bonus footage at the end of this with Mike and I trying to get that injection pump out. There's not a lot of educational there as far as that goes. It's just kind of comical. So if you guys want to check that out, that's coming up next. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. I am my car's actually that way. I'm walking the wrong way. Dirt Perfect. That's that guy right there. He injured himself.
I got a wounded wing.
He's got a wounded wing. So today I am merely his hands. He's the brains of the operation.
Which, for the record, hasn't been going quite as well as it should have. Just. Was that too much truth in one sentence?
No, there's never enough truth in a sentence.
Why are you climbing on top of there like an animal?
I don't know. Where am I supposed to go? Is that what this is for?
Are you not tall enough to reach from there?
This is why you're the brains of the operation.
Captain.
I'll just use this.
I got you a stage, a podium, a platform, a raise.
Oh.
And you decide to go, oh boy. Okay, so.
I'm touching tools, I don't even know what we're doing yet.
See that thing right, can you point to the injection pump? It's like first grade.
This is the injection.
Nice. We gotta remove that.
Okay.
Now if you watched my channel, last time I removed this, I removed the counterweight. But we're trying to be lazy today and not remove the counterweight.
It would appear that it's still on here.
So I've got all the difficult stuff removed for you. You're down.
Not true.
Comment down below. I think I do.
All right.
All right. So this is going to be a fun game. The next thing you need to do is disconnect the shutdown solenoid,
Force the shut down the solenoid.
which is
That.
that. Oh, I have learned you something over the years.
That's the only solenoid I see on it. I'm assuming that's it.
Yeah, we need to take see that bolt on the end of it. Yep. And then there's a bracket back here that's got 2 bolts that holds that throttle linkage on there.
This?
Yep, need to take that off. I will be your tool assistant.
Assistant. Okay.
I think that.
Appropriate size wrench.
Is there a 10 millimeter right there?
That takes the fun out of it if I gotta get it myself.
Here.
Here, hand this back to me. That's perfect.
I hope.
Alright, we're just down here doing things, guys.
I'm gonna give you an invaluable piece of advice.
If you say lefty loosey one more time.
No, don't drop in that.
Oh, well. There it goes. I guess you saw Wes got that old Oliver? Yeah.
I watched that. I watched a little bit of the first video.
His I'm gonna call it startup kit, but that it's got like a battery with a fuel pump, and so he can bring his own fuel pump and gas can and everything to start some of that stuff up. It's a pretty slick little setup.
All right, I don't know if you can get this impact in there. This socket should get that bracket off there. Oh, what? You the wrong size socket?
I hope so. Or is it? It's nutted.
No, instead of a biscuit bumper.
It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, of course, the ones I think are good are usually the ones that bomb.
It is the way it works, isn't it?
Okay, now, Captain, you got. I can't get my hand in there. There's a bolt right up there. Then there's a bolt in the end of that injection pump down there, which you probably have to have a wrench for. See what I'm saying?
Oh, I do, yeah. Yeah, I think they're both going to be, unless that's, if I can move that enough to actually get a socket on. I think they're both going to be wrenches, and it's going to be that same size, it looks like.
Was that 13?
13.
Yeah, pop down and get you
Bigger than 13.
one. 13.
Bigger than 14. Tell you what, just give me 17. We're skipping one. What do you got there?
16.
It's going to be 17. It feels like it. It feels like a Subaru sized bolt, you know what I mean? We'll try 16, but I bet it's... Yeah, 16's too small.
Good job. 13 definitely looks good. What's your elbow?
That's both serious and a joke.
Got it.
We probably ought to just go straight to...
If this is a game, we would suck.
That should be a fun a challenge. If we just set bolts up.
Yeah, I made the size.
Yeah, that'd be a fun game. That'd be a fun game. Oh, that's it. And she fits. Oh, man. It doesn't get any better than this, bud. It's not getting any better. Here we go. Here we go. Listen for that magical sound.
You know, I got one of these things.
Here we go. Here we go.
Was it magical sound, the air escaping your lungs as you hug the counterweight?
That went different than I expected.
Sweet. So now that I got that cover off up there in the front,
Yeah, right here.
there's a nut in there. A washer.
Oh, inside of there yet? Can y'all see in there?
I don't know if I'd be shining that light in that microphone, make glare.
Just taking a gander down yonder.
There's a nut and a washer, and you need to make damn sure you don't drop either one of them down inside that crankcase.
Man, when you say things like, it's when you say things like that that I do the things. Whatever you do, don't hit that tree. Boom. You know what I mean? Gone. It's out of there.
Make sure that's the right size. I'll put a little bit of grease on that.
Y'all
side.
tell me not to be profitable. You wouldn't believe how much money you'll make. In the center.
Yeah. Try to just shove it real hard one time.
Did you go roll start on me? Felt like it. At some point it should turn easy enough that the engine doesn't turn, right? Yep, we're there. Okay.
Alright, so now.
You guys having a good day? We're having a pretty good day. See that? Nut stuck down in that grease. Oh crap. Oh, you hear that? Got it. That's fancy. Right there, one below it, and there's one on the back side. We're gonna start with that one on the back side. There it goes. Nice. Where's that magnet? Gross. Hold on. Performance archery here. Stop spinning on me. I had to stop spinning.
You want an air ratchet?
Nope, I got her, buddy. I'm just trying to hold onto that nut with the magnet at the same time so we don't lose it.
I'm gonna put this back on. I'll probably just pull it all the way off.
Here, I need you to take this extension. You got it? There we go.
Yeah, it's hard. It's going to take it, top it off to get that bottom.
Yeah. So they're both broke. And now I'm just going to spin this bottom one off. I think it'll come off by hand, actually. Awesome. Question.
Yep.
This is still attached. What is this?
Oh yeah, that's the main fuel line, but I didn't take that off.
Think about it. You ready?
You can really see it right there.
Yeah. Okay.
They're wet. Just gotta get it fished out of there.
So moving that shroud helps us a little bit because look at all this elbow room. Look at this. Okay. Here we go. Watch fingers. There we go.
Got it.
That was easy. Honestly, I thought it'd take longer than 15 minutes, really.
It does without the power of editing.